Welcome to the semifinals of the Metagame Masters 12th edition here from Berlin. My name is Toffel. I'm here with Johnny. And
Hello.
we are watching the semifinals between Tobias and Jan. What do they
Yeah.
have bring?
Oh, so really interesting decks. Like on the left side, we see I would call it the boogeyman of the format, like Scapeshift. It's a really persistent deck, a really consistent deck, and a really, fast deck. I think it's really brutal right now. The most builds are really fast, and being able to get all the disruption you might play. So yeah, it's a really, really nice combo deck.
Tobias also not unknown to the top 8. I think that's
Yeah,
like
he's
his fourth or something.
I'm not sure, but at least 2 times. So yeah,
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing, and he plays it at the FNM as well. And yeah, it's just a well-rounded deck.
Here we
By
see
now, yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. By now there are a lot of different builds, but the core is pretty standard right now.
Well,
for
the core
most
is
people.
Scapeshift, Valakut, and a lot of mountains.
Yeah, no. I mean, like with the tutor and the cantrips and all the stuff, right? Like it's 4-color without white most of the time. So yeah. And on the white side, we see Jan with what I think you can call that aggro control, I guess. Like a 4-color, no, it's the 5-color aggro control deck.
It's like a 4-color blood, but actually playing blue. Like, is that?
Yeah, 4-color. Yeah, he doesn't play that many beefy creatures, which blood usually does. It's more like, yeah, he plays the best creatures of all colors combined with the best spells, I guess. Like we see Leovold and Nemesis and Snapcaster and stuff. And also then Lightning Bolt, Swords, Lightning Helix, stuff like that, right?
That's a bit old school. I feel like
You think?
in the early days we just said like we have fetch lands and duels. We
true.
just play every good card and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah.
Before people had like an imagination of cutting cards for consistency or something.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, the 5-color deck has obviously the best mana base, and why shouldn't you play just the best spells? I mean, it gets heavy if you play the double-colored mana spells like Mana Drain or Dig Through Time, Liliana of the Whale.
There are certain cards that are not very friendly to all those non-basic lands.
Yeah, that's true.
I have been on like 20 live and said like, okay, I'm just never losing, and there was like, I have this card that deals like 20 to you.
It's a
Thank
fine
you.
design, a very fine design. No, but I think those cards has to exist, to be honest, because
No, it's
cards.
fit the deck.
Yeah, I mean, cards are balanced around their mana costs and their color costs and their color identity, and if you cheat that around that way with your mana base, which is really good in Highlander, then yeah, you have to pay some price, I would say. Maybe the price of progress.
You have to pay the price of progress.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
we see a really good hand for Tobias. The turn 2 Vamp is always what you want in the deck, and followed by a Jace and accompanied by 2 Delve spells. I think 2 is a bit much. 1 is good enough. If the
Depending a
Jace
little how
survives. How long the game goes. Usually, as a Scapeshot deck, you don't want to have the game going too long, but usually you can play the control games as well because you have so many tools to get your Scapeshot back or find it or have disruption and counter protection. And for Jan, we see a really awkward hand as well. Speaking of Delve spells, we have he plays 3 Delve creatures, I think. That's Tombstalker, the Gomek Angler, and the Booting Mandrels.
Yes.
And he doesn't have any cards to enable them. Like he plays Mental Note, I think. Is that true? I'm not sure.
Do you feel like this hand was a keep?
That's a good question. No, I don't think so, to be honest.
Because Snapcaster is not very potent. There are no spells and it's not hitting a lot. It's not really a Delve thing. Colligan's command seems kind of dead.
Yeah, that's true. It might sound a bit dumb, but a lot of those 5-color good stuff players always say, and also 4-color blood players, I think every top deck from the library is a good draw. So I can keep every hand which does at least something. But yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that. Here we see
sounds a little lazy.
Yeah, sounds a little lazy. Yeah, that's true. And he can't even even if you assume the scenario where he plays the color against command on something, gets some value out of it, maybe his opponent plays a Death Ray Shaman or something and he can just kill it and then flash it back. That's so slow against Scapeshift. That's way too slow. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the keep. And why didn't Tobias sack his Sakura Tribe Elder end of turn, by the way?
That might be a consideration. That's what I know from Modern, that you want to get your opponent to 18.
Yeah.
Seeing two fetch lands, I would say that's not a reasonable plan.
Yeah. No, and especially he had 2 plays to make this turn if he would have done it with Impulse and Jace. So it's a bit
maybe
weird.
He says he knows what he's playing against, and then this might just block a little while later.
Yeah, but you have to force. You are forced to sack it now anyway because it only had 4 lands.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 3 lands. Also, you have to play the Impulse end of turn anyway, and this way you give up a lot of tempo.
Maybe he just figured that playing Jace is just going to get killed.
Yeah, but he has to play him. He doesn't have a brainstorm or something, so. And now we see the color against command without any value. Like, it's not really a good. I mean,
2 damage.
2 damage and discard 2 cards. Yeah, sure. 1 card. That's not something you are sad about it.
And here we see already, like, the way the Scapeshift deck plays out is they play so many just stable cards on their own. Fractusk is so good. You see Jace, Dig Through Time. There's so many different threats and angles that they can protect from, and then they only need one certain card. And lands are good anyway. Like, there's no way that you're saying, okay, I don't want those lands in the beginning of the game.
Wait a second, what happened here? Did Jan play the color against command pre-combat?
Apparently.
And then Tobias just played the what? I'm confused.
Maybe there was I'm not sure.
That seems like a really weak line of play. And by the way, we did talk about the starting hand. Another factor which you have to count in for is the Snapcaster Mage in combination with the Delve spells, right? Like, how is that not already mulligan to 5? Like, with 2 Delve spells and a Snapcaster Mage?
So here we see Hoodie Mandrills played over the Gormak Angler just because it has trample and might get through the Sakura Tribe Elder, but, well, the Sakura Tribe Elder bites the dust, getting an island at this point. Or, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it has to be an island. Also, I'm not a fan of discarding the Treasure Cruise instead of the Dig Through Time. Even though we are playing a combo deck, he already has the Scapeshift. And at this point, I would just look for the War card advantage to get through the counter spells, disruption, whatever my opponent might have. And also with Jace having more options and stuff. Like, I don't like the Dig Through Time in the hand, to be honest. Like, I think Treasure Cruise is a better spell anyway than the Vacuum. Like,
depends on what you're achieving, right? If you really need something specific.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in a combo deck, it shifts a bit, but at this spot, I think the Treasure Cruise is worth more than the Dig Through Time. And here he draws a land. So now he has a lot of options. He can try to find maybe a Ramp spell with his Jace, or just play the Thraptusk, I guess. And that's, by the way, the strength of the Scapeshift deck. We talked about this in recent or in past episodes already. You can play the mid-range plan as well if you include some creatures. Which, by the way,
we heard you talk about Titania.
Yeah, exactly, Titania. Some play Tarsigur, some Planeswalker. While I'm not a fan of the creature route, in this spot it's a really nice strategy just to distract your opponent from what you're actually doing.
I mean, there are the chance if they say, like, okay, I'm holding up some counter spells, or I'm trying to beat your plan, you just say, okay, I play Thraptusk, what you gonna do about it? And then they say, like, I don't know, counter because it hits me, and then you say, okay, we'll do the next thing. And
so, by the way, don't you just loot with Jay's main phase just to see what your other options might be? For instance, if you find a Sky Short claim, right? That's a ramp spell for 4 mana, which gets you 2 lands in play. I think you just play that, instead of the Thraptusk, especially if your opponent just tapped out.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why you're not using that main phase. So now Jan can't attack. He can't do anything. He can just play his counterspell, that's all. Oh, yeah, that's a really good draw. If you would have the mana to cast it.
And now you get just rid of Impulse, I guess. But it's not Scape Shift, and it's not Thoughtseize, and it's definitely not Delve Through Time, so...
I mean, it's the Impulse. Yeah. Yeah.
Thoughtseize also very conveniently flipping Jace next turn. Oh, hello, hand.
Wow. Yeah, that's really disgusting. I mean, he has to, yeah, play the Thoughtseize, and then you can discard the Inquisition with Jace.
Is there a reason not to play Inquisition?
Over
Like,
Thoughtseize, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that maybe Jan plays, I don't know, Cryptic Command, that he can cast that.
The only card that I would assume is
Force.
Confluence.
Yeah, or Force.
So he likes the security.
I mean, the thing is, Tobias doesn't combo off really fast because he only has 5 lands, so he has to play for some more rounds, right?
Yeah.
So I guess getting rid of a problematic card like, let's say, I don't know, the Planeswalker, which is just like a Elspeth or something.
Do they play Armageddon?
No, Jan doesn't play Armageddon. But why does Tobias just say goal now? What?
Yeah, that's... Jace is a difficult card.
I mean, first of all, you give your opponent now the out to kill the Jace if Tobias wants to activate him end of turn.
Yes. Which actually could gonna happen with the command, right?
Exactly, and also you miss on the Planeswalker activation. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. And also, if you want to play the Dig to Time, your Jace, I guess he doesn't want him to flip, actually. Maybe that's the point. There are cases where you don't want to flip the Jace, but I'm not sure that is the case right now.
One of those lines could be just play the Dig Through Time that removes the graveyard and then just loot again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's... I don't hate it. It's okay. But I think you can do that main phase anyway, because you just played Thoughtseize and your opponent played a counterspell. So he only has 1 blue open. Maybe he has a soft counter.
So here we see...
Yeah, that's interesting. So now the Snapcaster will come back and play the Color Guards command.
This is... Yeah, now you see Tobias is also not sure. I say, like, it would have been interesting to do nothing because we know that now Color Guns command is going to happen. Since Delph removes them on cast, Jace can flip. Like, if now would Color Gun target the Jason, there would be enough cards in the graveyard. It couldn't kill it.
Yeah, true. But that's really... Like, to make that kind of play, you have to have some kind of read, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Okay, now he loses... Yeah, now he loses his Dig Through Time to the counterspell. And by the way, I wouldn't think that Tobias could lose the game as, let's say, turn 4 or turn 5 when you resolve the Thractus.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look that good anymore, to be honest.
Well, the hand of Jan is still kind of questionable, but
it's really questionable. But
it at least looks much better. Yeah, and this position here doesn't hit anything, and that's a point where you're on parity a little, assuming that Scapeshift isn't getting cast, right? Like, we know now if Jace loots and then finds a land next turn, maybe from Impulse, that will be enough for Scapeshift. But let's assume Jan finds a counterspell right now. This is very devastating.
Yeah, and that's interesting. If he wouldn't have go for the Dig Through Time, but instead the Treasure Cruise, he would have cast his Treasure Cruise main phase last turn, right? Instead of going for the end of turn play, and that would have just resolved because Jan doesn't have a counter. So that's always interesting. The line of plays, which
there was also a point now. If Tobias just fetches, he could flip Jace again this turn. And then just cast one of those spells, like a lightning bolt.
That's a good point. Yeah, although you don't want to play a lightning bolt, I think, at this spot. You just want to plus one.
You have only Dig Through Time or Inquisition.
I mean, you can just use the +1 ability of Jace on the
Yes.
shooting mendels. And now we see the Elspeth, which I was talking before, which is actually now a threat. Like, how much turns is that? 7? It's exactly 3 turns.
Yeah, but now he's just dead.
If he finds a land, right?
Exactly. But he can always find a land, I guess, with the Jace.
Oh, you're new to Highland now, right?
Like, Jace didn't even loot.
No, he didn't. Oh, and that's the awkward spot of Edge of Autumn.
Wait, is it loot?
Yeah, he didn't loot 8 of turn. That was really bad.
Yeah, because Delph, I think it would have been enough, right? You go to 5 cards, and you go to 6, then you play Dig Through Time and have, that would have been enough.
Oh, right, he could just, wait, he had enough mana to play Dig Through Time and then play Scapeshift, yeah.
I mean, I think it's even enough now because you can just add 1 more mana if you find a land.
Mm-hmm.
You have 6 mana now, then you can play it for 3, which finds your land and lets you cast Skeptish.
Yeah, so that's really awkward, to be honest.
It's good enough, like just do the minimum.
I'm not a fan of that. I mean, it's not doing the minimum. It's more like, making some misplays.
I mean, it's been a long day, right? At this point, they played for
sure.
For 11 hours, I think.
Yeah,
something around that.
Yeah.
Hexapro gives another sweat, paying 2. Hexapro also gives another draw because of Jace, but I think I would just go for Dig Through Time here.
It's interesting how he.
No probe is getting cast for mana. Fatal Push. Okay, that's no land. Jan is doing very well.
It's also a very weak card against shooting mendels.
Okay, Jace goes for the minus on Dig Through Time. Yeah, and at this point, you can't find the land anymore. If you would have cast the probe without blue.
Yeah, and it doesn't change the combat math, right? Because he's dead in 2 turns anyway. No, wait, that's not true. Wait, is it? Yeah, he's dead in 2 turns.
He's getting 9 damage from the power. He could defend 2 or 3, depending on where Elspeth pumps it.
Yeah.
And there we see. Okay. Now there's land and mana drain.
Yeah, like having the cultivate and the mana drain is really, really important. So now he gets enough lands for his next turn and the counter backup for the Scapeshift.
This is officially in the books.
Well,
what card could Jan draw?
Let me see. I mean, there's always.
Oh wait, does Tobias have blue open now? Because then.
No.
Now just the Thoughtseize would do it, right?
Yeah, it just got spell, yeah.
Oh, all right. There we go. But he can still play a land, but there's still no double blue. Okay. There's a chance. 1 times would be very fitting here. Oh.
It's another Veil spell. Jesus, that's a 5th Veil spell in this game? Is that true? Wait,
yeah.
1, 2. Yeah.
Well, they're strong cards.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you play 100 cards, you don't see them all that often.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can say Tobias got a bit carried by his deck in this game. He had 1 Wham spell, but it was also accompanied by Jan's weak draw, so, or rather the starting hand. The draws were okay, I guess, or fine.
Elspeth pumping the Mandrills. 1 more turn, Jan is thinking, please break. But as we know, the house is already built.
Yeah, Scapeshift has always a win if you if you're like waiting for it.
How many times did it happen where you say like, please don't have it, and they actually go like, no, I don't have it.
Yeah, they just stop playing it.
Yeah.
If they say that. So here we see a very fair casted card for 8 mana or something.
So explain to us how this complicated combo of casting Scapeshift works.
I mean, you have 7 lands in play. You sacrifice all of them, and then you get 6 mountains and a Balakut, and that's 18 damage for you, which is usually good enough.
How many mountains is this deck playing? Because from what we see, there are a lot of different other lands that are not mountains.
Yeah, I think Tobias is playing 10 to 11. Let me count that really quick.
Also, we see here one of Tobias' specialties of putting lands upside down.
Yeah, he's playing 10 mountains plus Vesuva. And that means if your opponent has a mountain, you can just go for the Vesuva. And interestingly enough, you can play the cycle. Not the cycle. The what's it called? Oh yeah, they cycle, right? For 2 mana.
Yes.
You can cycle the land, and they are also mountain and forest. And of course, there's the Cinderglade, which you can also play.
So he's not playing basic mountains, really,
He's
right?
only playing one, I think, for, I guess, cultivator stuff. Because that's an interesting thing. You are required to have so many mountains in this deck, but you don't play that many red spells in the deck. So, yeah, you don't want to actually play that many cards. Play that many mountains.
Mountain. There we see the basic mountain, the Valakut, Sheltered Thicket.
Yeah.
And there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Here goes the dynamite. 18 to your face. Thank you for playing.
And now spoiler.
Yeah.
He's going for the board instead. That would be funny.